Alright everyone, welcome back to part 3 of the Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights 80% No GGS tutorial. If you have not caught parts 1 or part 2, I would highly recommend you to check those out before you go into this one, otherwise some things that I say will probably not make sense to you. But without further ado, let's just get going. The next level that we're going to do is Coast 2. So, this is optional, but I'm just going to show you Zero Cycle. So, as I mentioned before in the last level, you can aim your head away from enemies while you're charging, and you can slide around enemies like this, and we can actually use that technique to get all the way down that without getting smashed by this first box here. And basically how we do that is that, you know, we start in the down left notch, and then we just kind of roll around here. You can see my control stick kind of just aiming my head around these enemies as I walk past them, and then you can basically make it here before this box slams. But if this is too difficult for you, there is a backup, which is like, you know, if you're dashing around here and let's say, you know, you get hit and then you're like, oh, I got hit or whatever, there is a backup, and basically what that backup is you just wait. But you come over here and get these snacks, and then you walk through, essentially. I was a little slow there. Oops. I was a little slow there, but normally what it would look like is that, let's say, you know, you're dashing through here, you know, you make it down here, and let's say that, you know, we get hit by this last guy here. That's very common, you know, if you get hit, whatever, you just come back here, and then you just get these snacks, and then you just make your way forward, and then you just do the rest of this level as normal, which we would just walk through here like this, and just kind of make our way into Coast 3, right? So I'll show the Zero Cycle one more time, but again, we're going to use this technique a lot, so I highly recommend you to try and learn this cycle, and if not, just try to learn how to get around most of these enemies, at least, and just work on it. Because if you don't make Zero Cycle, it's only a 6-second time loss, so it's really not that huge in the grand scheme of things, especially as a very new player, but we're just going to head on out, and we're going to go into Coast 3. Now, in Coast 3, Coast 3, there is a cycle, but I'm not going to show the cycle just because it is so hard that there's like no chance that you're going to be able to make it anytime soon, so I'm just going to leave it out. But how we're going to move is that we're just going to kind of move through here. We're going to dash past this guy, and we're just going to get all these boxes. And then we're just going to make it back here. We're going to get these snacks, and then we're going to kind of just wait for that fish to go, and then we're going to jump on this one. And that will be the fish that you will most likely get if you get hit or whatever, but you're just going to wait for the fish to spawn out of the water, and then you're basically just going to get hit by him, become Great Dane Jesus, and float across here. And then right here, there's a version difference. So basically, this invisible fishnet is on the NTSC 1.0 version of the game. I believe that if you are on any other version besides this version, this invisible fishnet does not exist, and you'll have to jump on this actual fishnet. And basically how you want to jump on this actual fishnet is when you jump to it, you want to swing all the way back until you touch the pole, and then come out and then do an extended double jump to this platform. But if you're playing on MU, you can just use the invisible fishnet. So if you're playing on NTSC like I am, you will most likely have the invisible fishnet, so you can just jump on that. And then if you're on 1.1 or if you're on PAL, and I think if you're on Xbox, you will not have that. Fishnet bag. I'm unsure if Xbox has it or not. I would have to double check that. But I don't think it does. I'll find out. I'll put it in post, or it'll be up on the screen if it is a thing. But again, we're gonna get damage abused by that fish, and then we're gonna go across these boats. Basically, when we get damaged by enemies, we get some iframes, and so that's the reason we're able to walk on water before we drown. Again, just jump on the visible fishnet if you're on PAL. And if you're on the visible fishnet, you can jump all the way over here, but if that's too difficult for you, you can just jump straight to this platform and then jump over like this. And then we're going to hit this work gate, and now we've actually technically completed Fish Escape. Coast 2 and Coast 3 are kind of just like walk-through levels, right? So I didn't include them in the last level, but this is like, this warp gate now signifies that we skipped Fishy, and now, you know, we're here. So if we go past here, we're actually going to go into Witch Way, and the Super Smash is past that way. But as you notice, we don't have 500 snacks to pay the gate, but more importantly, we don't have the helmet upgrade still. And so now we're actually going to go get the helmet upgrade, because since we activated this warp gate, we can warp back to it, right? So we're going to warp back here later, but right now we're going to go get the helmet upgrade. So we're going to warp back to Mr. Machine. And just a tip for when you're warping. So we start it here, right? So we just kind of go up here to the Mr. Machine button, and then we warp to Mystery Machine. But if you notice, you can use both the C stick and the control stick to double stick the menuing. This can make your menuing a bit faster. You can also do this on the D-pad, and then you can also just single stick, of course. So just some options for you. But once we get here, we're just going to kind of dash down left. We're going to get this line, and then we're going to go over here, jump up and get this key, and now we're going to make our way to the helmet upgrade. And here at the beginning of Hedge, we're going to do one of these. So we're basically going to go right, up, down, and we're going to go in a circle and try to collect all these snacks. Again, if you don't get these snacks in one go, you know, you'll just go on, but I'll show this a couple more times just so you can see my controller cam. So, you know, I didn't get that one. That's all right. If you don't get it, you can just keep dashing on. But, you know, ideally, you want to get all of them, and then you're basically just going to make your way through here, and that'll be what the first part looks like. So a lot of this is just kind of like follow my movement forehead. And so there's not too much to discuss here in terms of like what you should technically be doing. It's just like monkey see, monkey do, right? And we're just going to kind of go over here, single jump to this box. We're going to dash up the slope, and there is a cycle at the end of this level known as a werewolf cycle, which I will show right here. So this werewolf is walking towards this snack here. So if you are fast enough in this level, you will be able to basically collect this last snack, wiggle back like away from the screen. So on this side of the werewolf, close to this bench, you can wiggle back and walk around him and actually collect this snack and jump through this arc before the werewolf gets there. And if you're able to do that, you've made Hedge 1 cycle. And if you're not able to do that, then you're a little slow, and basically if he's on top of the snack, you kind of have to just forfeit the snack. It's not worth it to get hit by the werewolf to collect the snack. So if he's on top of the snack or you can't get the snack, just skip it. It's just one snack. It's not going to kill you. You know what I mean? But you know, he's right there, and we can walk over here. But see, he stops on that snack, right? I'll try to show it again, but I'll just show this whole room one more time. We're going to just kind of get all these snacks on the way here. And on those platforms, you kind of want to jump off immediately, like I showed there, because if you land on them for too long, they'll actually shark your momentum, and you won't be able to keep going forward. Which I guess I'll show that in a second. But again, you know, I've clearly made the cycle, but I just wait here. If you're slow, see, he'll stop on that snack, and if he stops on that snack, then you know you'll just need to jump over him and just forfeit the snack. And then I'll show what I'm talking about with momentum on the platforms right now as we go through here. Ooh, unlucky. But you know, just generally try to keep your corners tight. But like right here, you see how it like slows us down since it's traveling against us. So basically, if there's a platform traveling against you, you just want to get off of it as soon as possible so you can maintain your forward momentum through the level. But again, we're just gonna make our way through here. We'll just, you know, make werewolf cycle, and then we'll make our way into Hedge 2. And Hedge 2, there's no real cycles in this level. This one is pretty straightforward. We're just going to kind of just run straight through here, run around, B-dash around that guy, and then we're just going to jump on this platform, wait for it to rise for a second, and then we're just going to jump up here. Just be sure to not jump too early, otherwise you won't be able to make it all the way up. And then, you know, we'll see Don Knotts in the corner there, but we're just going to ignore him, and we're just going to keep going through. And you're just going to follow my move for the rest of the solo. But fun fact, if you do end up running 100% in this game, it's funny because if you don't talk to Don Knotts on first playthrough, this is what you're actually going to do. You're going to be dash there. I just forgot to be dash because I was talking. If you actually don't talk to Don Knotts there, he gives you the lampshade and slippers if you don't know. And if you don't talk to him on first entrance of Hedge 2, you just can't get the lampshade and slipper card, so you actually can't 100% the game, which is fun. You didn't need to know that. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but like whatever. Let's just move on. We're just going to go into Hedge 3. So Hedge 3, what we're going to do is that we're going to jump over this first guy here. We're going to jump on this, release the R button, and then we're going to set up a dig. So again, since we're setting up a dig, we don't want to skid into the digs, which is why as soon as we jump off this spider, we're just going to release the R button and walk forward and dig up the box. So I'll show it one more time. We're going to be R running. We're going to jump up here, jump on the spider, release the R button, and then just walk forward, dig up this snack box, and then we're going to jump on these two arcs, and then we're going to dash by this guy, and we're going to not hit that magnifying glass, hopefully, and we're going to make our way up here, and then we're going to clip through here, essentially. That gate clip, it looks really easy, and that's because it is really easy. All you do is hold up left on the D-pad in order to get through. I like to kind of jump into it, and because it allows insta clipping a bit easier. But you definitely don't need to do the insta clip technique, because literally you can just walk into it and get through it. It's actually really, really easy. Like if you've ever seen a marathon run, we always say, you can do this one at home, and it's literally just like, oh, I'm just gonna hold up left on the D-pad and then I'm gonna clip through it. You know what I mean? Like literally just like, again, boop, you're just gonna clip through, and we're just gonna make our way into Misbehavin. So Misbehavin, we're just going to hold down and just dash off, and then we're going to get this snack line here, and we're going to collect the 4 keys in this room. The reason that we're doing this now is because we're actually going to go through there later in order to get to Green Ghost. Oh, by the way, we're in Misbehavin. Yeah, so we're not supposed to be in Misbehavin right now, but again, just follow my movement, but we're not supposed to be in Misbehavin right now, and that is and the reason that we're actually going through Misbehavin is because we can actually if Misbehavin leads to not only the Green Ghost boss fight, so like past here in this door is Green Ghost. So if we go through here, we'll go into Misbehavin 2, Misbehavin 3, and then we'll be on our way to fight the Green Ghost, which we're going to do in this run later on. So we're actually going to come back here later, and we're going to do a trick known as plunger skip, so we can get up the slope. But we're not going to go into that right now. The important thing is that we are, okay, you can. The important thing is that we're going to the helmet upgrade, like I mentioned, right? And so we're actually going through these levels backwards in order to get to the helmet upgrade. And if you've played this game casually, you know that Hedge 4 basically has a really long auto-scroller. And then, we have to play the greenhouse levels and the hill levels in order to get the hill 3. But if you are familiar with this game, you'll know that there's an exit. In hill 3, there's the entrance of Skull 1. And coincidentally, you go through Skull Cliff in order to get to Misbehavin, normally in the casual playthrough. So by clipping through that gate in Hedge 3, we spawn in Misbehavin, and we're actually going to go through the Skull Cliff levels backwards, which not only is the movement to get to the helmet quicker by going through the Skull Cliff levels backwards, just because there's less levels, but also we get to skip 2 snack gates. There's a 450 snack gate on the other side, which I'll show in a second, and there actually 3 snack gates, because there's a snack gate in Greenhouse that we skip. It's about a 150 or a 200 snack gate, and then there's a snack gate going into Greenhouse as well from Hedge 4. There's also a snack gate there, so we're skipping 2 snack gates in Greenhouse, and then we're also skipping a 3rd later on in the run, because normally we'd have to go through Skull Cliff to get to this level, Misbehavin, and so we're also skipping that snack gate as well. So we're going to go over here, jump for this, and we're going to run off down here onto this ice. Now, it's important that we go off down here into this ice as we're entering Skull 4, because if we don't, there is a really, really, really long cutscene. And when I say really, really long, this is going to go on for like a while more. So what we do is with that, as soon as we collect that box, we just drop down here and we just walk over here, and then we just kind of jump up, and then, we can just enter, avoiding that cutscene completely. And then we're going to be in Skull 4. Now, Skull 4, again, here's the snack gate I was talking about, actually. It's a 5, actually, it's not a 450, it's a 550 snack gate. So we're skipping a 550 snack gate, we're skipping a 200 snack gate, and I think we're skipping a 150 snack gate. So we're skipping 3 snack gates by going through Skull Cliff backwards, which is really, really cool. And we're also saving time on movement, because it saves about 2 minutes overall in terms of just raw movement going through the Skull Cliff levels backwards. And speaking of the Skull Cliff levels backwards, this is Skull 4. This is one of the longest levels in the game, but also it's one of the hardest levels in the game. So I'm just going to kind of show this to you one time because it's just really long and I don't want to spend too much time on it. But just know that this room really challenges your movement, and you're going to die a lot as a beginner in this room. It's just going to happen. It's fine. But there are various checkpoints throughout the level. And we're going to try to make a cycle at the end of this level, which I'll try to show you. I might have messed up too much in order to make the cycle, but hopefully I'll still be able to make it. Kind of messed up on jumping on that platform, but we're basically just going to kind of make our way through here. And as you can see, it's really easy to die because of the camera angle, right? Because these levels are not meant to be played backwards, the camera does not do you any favors, right? So you're kind of always going against the camera and against like the wishes of the game as you're playing around here. So when you go around these guys, just make sure you go along the outside. And then basically this platform is going to travel down. And when it does, we're going to release the R button, and then we're going to double jump up here and make our way across here. Normally you would want to go like all the way across here, but we're actually just not going to do that. So again, I'll show this jump again. This is what I was talking about before when I was referring to skid jumps. So normally if I were to walk off, I can only jump once, right? I was pressing A the whole time, couldn't get it, right? But if I dash off and release the R button, I can basically retain 2 jumps as long as my skid frames are still going. If I wait until my skid frames are done, obviously I'm only going to get 1 jump, but this basically extends the amount of coyote frames that we have before we need to initiate a jump. So by doing that, we can get off of here, and then we can easierly get over to this platform by doing a skid jump. We also can just double jump and make it over here as well. So you don't need to necessarily skid jump. Like you can do like that. Oops, I need to stop pressing the escape key. But essentially just dashing off and using your skid frames to get 2 jumps out is just, you know, it's just safer, right? And so that's how you're going to make it to the end of Skull Cliff. And basically the cycle that I was talking about is that this platform is going to be traveling down when you get here, right? And then you can make your way on into Skull 3. Again, that level's just hard. Just try to follow my pathing, try to follow my movement, and you know, we'll make our way into Skull 3. But luckily, this is the hardest level that you're going to be doing in the run. So well, maybe not the hardest level. Well, it might be the hardest level in the whole run. I don't know. But like, it's the hardest in the set of Skull Cliff levels, if that makes sense. So in Skull 3 here, we're just going to kind of just make our way through pretty simply through this level. We're just going to, you know, again, collect the snacks I'm collecting. You know, if you miss some, just, you know, try to ignore it unless it's like a snack box or something. And then we're just going to kind of make our way on through to Skull 2. Now in Skull 2, there's an important thing where we're going to wait for like half a second, and then we're going to move to the right, and then we're going to wiggle up. So if you watch my controller cam, right wiggle up, and then I initiate the jump over the fish. This is because if we just hold right and try to jump over this fish, he just murders us, right? You know, he'll just be in our way. He turns to us immediately. And so, but if we wait half a second, he basically just turns away from us so that we can get all the snacks in this line. So again, wait for half a second, wiggle upwards, you know, wiggle right and up, and then we're going to jump out for those 2 snacks, and then we're going to make our way through this level. That boulder should hit the ground before you get there. So you shouldn't need to worry about hitting the boulder. And then we're going to double jump over this crab. We're going to B-dash over this platform, jump over here, and we're going to make it past this boulder before it slams to the ground, and that is Boulder Cycle. And then we're going to make our way into Skull 1. So Skull 1, basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a trick known as Summer Early, where we're going to jump off this platform onto the wall, and then on over here. I'll show it a couple more times. There are a lot of ledges on this wall, so chances are you'll hit one of them because you can literally like walk along this wall, right? There's like a ton of ledge. I got pushed off by the platform. That was funny, but there are a ton of ledges on the wall, so it's a pretty forgiving trick. But sometimes that happens and you just fall straight through. I wasn't planning on falling there, but Sometimes that happens, but normally if you just like land on the platform for like a full second before jumping off of it, you shouldn't do that. That normally only happens if you like insta jump off. And then we're going to do this wall climb up here. Going to do this wall climb up here, and then this is actually the entrance to Hill 3. But a thing that I wanted to talk about is that there's a cutscene here. But the cutscene trigger is a little slow, so I'll show Summer early. Again, it's just named after the runner Summer who found the trick. And again, you know, I was all the way up there. There's just a ton of ledges on the wall. But again, we're going to do this wall climb. We're going to jump on that plank. We're going to jump on to here, and then we're going to jump out and back up here. Now, a fun thing about this cutscene trigger is that even if you go out here and you go really wide, you can actually exit the level before the cutscene plays, and you can enter Hill 3. But normally what you want to do is you just want to jump at a diagonal here straight to the entrance to Skull 1, because you'll actually avoid the cutscene trigger completely. But again, you know, if you're a little bit wide, you can still go out and you know, and hit it. So, and then now we're at Hill 3. So now we're going to enter Hill 3, which again, we're saving about 2 minutes based off of movement alone, just to go through Skull Cliff backwards rather than going through the intended way, which is really cool. And I'm going to show you guys another boulder cycle. And again, all the cycles that I'm showing to you are just like the goal of like what you want to be able to do in your run eventually. By no means do you have to get it like immediately before you can start running, you know what I mean? Because some of these cycles are pretty difficult, and you know, you need to have a certain amount of, you know, skill to do them. Again, I just went to that corner there and walked around that boulder, and that's how I got that cycle. You basically just sit in that nook as that boulder rolls down the hill, and that is boulder cycle. And then we're just going to kind of make our way on up here. Again, just try to match the movement as well as I do. And then we're going to go here, and we're going to hit this helmet. Now, an important thing to note is that normally after you collect a helmet, we're just going to dash down, and we're going to collect these 4 snacks, and then we're going to death abuse. But an important thing to note is that after you get the helmet, you want to keep moving. And that's because if you stop moving, he's going to post up, and we don't want him to post up. That's just a waste of time. So, but we're going to actually death abuse. And again, death abusing puts you at where you entered. So since we entered from Skull 1, it puts us down here, which is actually perfect because we're going to go up to this warp gate. And then now that we have the helmet, we're actually going to warp back to Coast 3. And how we're going to get there is that we're just going to go all the way over here to Mystery Machine. We're going to go right to Smuggler's Cove, and then we're going to go scroll down to Coast for some ghosts, and we're actually going to warp back to Coast 3. And now that we're back in Coast 3, this is where we're going to stop part 3. We're actually going to pay this. Actually, let's pay the snack gate before we stop. But now we're going to go get the Super Smash upgrade. And we now, since we have, you know, enough snacks, we can pay the 500 snack gate. And now that we have the helmet just allows us to not only kill enemies, but it allows us to break open items. So like those boxes in Coast 1 that we have to clip through, normally at that point you would have the helmet, so you would just break open the boxes and collect the keys, right? But we don't need to do that, right? So now that we have the helmet, we can basically break open the container that the Super Smash is in, and by being able to break open that container with the helmet, now we can get the Super Smash. So not only did we not have enough snacks to pay the 500 snack gate, but again, like I mentioned before, we need the helmet in order to open up the container that the Super Smash is in. But we'll talk more about the Super Smash in the next video. So thanks for watching part 3. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.